Hello everybody, my name is Cirque and welcome back to another episode on the Castaways server. We are, ow, hey, get out of here. No, okay, well that stinks. Oh good, it stopped. It didn't quite make it. These powered rails are just far enough. Let's keep going. So we are heading down. Come on, go. There we go. We're heading down to E-Rose's Skelly farm. Because I need some nether wart. I thought she had a farm elsewhere, but I know she has some down here. Just a few. Okay, well, this should be enough. I only needed a couple more. And skeletons. I was thinking that there was another skeleton loose, but this is a skelly farm, so that's probably what I'm hearing. Anyways, last time I mentioned that I wanted to check out some of the new blocks in 1.10, some of the new stuff in 1.10. So I think we have all the stuff that we need. First off, the nether wart. We can make nether wart blocks. Ooh, fancy. Those cannot get changed back for some reason. I find that kind of strange, and I hope they fix that. Because that's kind of weird. You know, it's almost like a hay bale, or really any sort of resource block. You take 9 of them and you make them into a block. It kind of seems strange, especially since they added bone blocks that can be made out of bone meal, and those can be changed back. But anyways, we have the bone blocks, we got the nether wart blocks, we have the red nether brick blocks, boom, and we have the magma blocks. So let's get these all placed down, take a look at them. Got some interesting stuff. So nether wart block, yeah, looks kind of interesting. And we got the red nether brick. That's sort of cool. I like the idea that we have another brick texture. In fact, actually, you know, we're using a bunch of brick at our base. I just thought of this. We're using regular brick. We could potentially mix some of this in. I know nether brick was definitely something that I thought about using. We'll have to kind of put all 3 together and take a look at it. How does it compare? We do have enough bricks to make regular nether bricks. How does it compare to that? Like, it's definitely a lot darker. It would be a lot closer to a normal brick. We could play around with that, do something with that, maybe. And then we have the bone blocks, which these actually can be found in the world. They spawn in the ground as like big skeletons, apparently. I'd love to go see that, although we'd have to go generate some new terrain, which means we'd have to go kind of far out. Wouldn't be too bad. And I don't know how frequently they are. I don't really know if they only spawn in certain areas. Don't really know a lot about them, but it'd be kind of interesting to find a skeleton. Maybe we'll have to do like an archaeological dig. That'd be kind of cool. But this block is really neat as well, because now we have another white block. You know, it's not quite white. It's bone white, basically. A little off-white. But before this, for white, you basically had white wool, which has the wool texture, not really that nice. Or you had marble, or I guess diorite, now that I think about it. But diorite is yucky. Doesn't look the best. It's very dirty. And the marbles, it's a pretty good white block. The only problem with it is that it's very defined. It's very sharp. It has borders on it, or like the variants, like the pillar, and there's like the detailed one. They're all very sharp texture. In fact, this kind of reminds me, it's not exactly the same or really even all that similar, but this might be a good replacement for the mushroom block, the stalks of the mushroom that you can't actually like pick up. But I know people have, and I've done it myself, used pistons to move those around so they can build like a cool wall out of them. This could almost replace that a little bit. You know, those are a little bit whiter and they have a little bit more texture to them. But this is definitely, it's a needed block, I would say. It's a nice, clean, whitish block that people could use. Especially with, you know, kind of like, I guess snow is another one. But though, like, snow is very white and blue. And also, it's not very structural. I don't know how... I don't think this is a very solid block. It probably breaks pretty easily, but I think it's probably better than snow. but with the like Tudor style houses, kind of like, I mean, I'm doing sort of a Tudor style house in my village. A lot of people have used like wool for like the top portion of it, kind of for like a stucco type design. This would definitely be a good replacement for that, I would think. And then we have the magma block, which is kind of cool. Interesting little block. This also spawns in the world, in the nether. And it also has a really cool thing. We need some blocks. We need more blocks. Maybe I'll... let's see. I don't want to mess too much stuff around here. Alright, this should work for us. So, if we make a little room for ourselves, and we'll just do it out of these blocks. I do have some cobble with me. We'll do that. And let's make it dark. So if it's dark, we put down the magma block. We do get a little bit of light. Looks like it gives off 3 light, because it's 2 right next to it. So inside of it would be 3. In fact, if we put it down here, should be 2 right below us. No, block light's 7. Oh, that's right, because there's stuff down there. That is not a good test. Let's do this. Also, as you saw, it hurts us. Yeah, so block light 2 comes from it, which means, you know, this block would actually be block light 3. If you stand on top of it, it hurts. If you shift, you're alright. That's kind of an interesting thing. But the real interesting thing is, if we take it and put a torch next to it, that's not a torch, take the torch away, and now we have block light 12, just like if we had, well, that's what light we're giving it, right? I feel like it, oh yeah. So yeah, that's getting block light 13 right now, so we take it away, and that means it's emitting block light 13, so we get block light 12 here. And I just realized, since I'm recording in 720p, or playing in 720, that debug screen was really big and taking out most of the screen, so hopefully this is a little bit better. But anyway, so we changed the light that this magma block is giving off, and we can change it again. You know, if we put it there and put a torch way over here, then it's a little bit dimmer. So this is a cool way to kind of adjust light in area. Then of course you can put this underneath carpet, or, you know, wherever you would normally hide lighting, and it just makes it easier to play around with the ambiance, ambient light, which is pretty cool. So let us head back to our place. So I have a couple of things that I'd like to work on, a few new projects. One of them is the Skelly Farm, which I mentioned last episode in our mine shaft. Now that we have these bone blocks, we actually have a reason to make it, and I have some ideas going for it. I have started on it a little bit, so we'll go check that out and kind of talk about that project. But I thought of another project, or at least kind of more of a goal to work towards, that might require a few things to do. Last week, or recently, depending on when this video comes out, was July the 4th, which is America's Independence Day, and one of the things we like to do as Americans on this holiday is set off fireworks. And so I was watching a fireworks show, and while watching it, all I could think of was how much I wanted to set off fireworks on the server and have a bunch of fireworks, maybe set up like an actual display area. That'd be kind of cool. But we do not have the materials to do these things. We don't have enough gunpowder. I definitely figured that out when I wanted to use TNT for something. I don't remember what. Maybe for clearing out the Guardian farm. I kind of looked at my stocks, and I don't have very much gunpowder at all. I think I was able to make... Oh yeah, I was trying to use Frostwalker boots to turn the Guardian farm water into ice and then blow it up with TNT. Anyways, it doesn't matter. We don't have very much gunpowder, and we need that for fireworks. That's one of the main ingredients, that and paper. Plus, you know, we need lots of dyes and other things that we might have to work on. But the main thing is gunpowder, so we need a mob farm to get that gunpowder. That should be the easiest way, or the best way to get it. So I had an idea. My idea was to find some sort of island. It'd have to be a suitable island, maybe one with a mountain. Would definitely help. It would require less building. And put a volcano on that island, on part of it. I wouldn't want the whole island to be a volcano, because I want to do some other stuff. And then inside the volcano have the mob farm. I think that would be a kind of cool idea. And then around the volcano, we could have some sort of small village. Obviously not to the extent of this. That would be crazy. We've already have this village that I need to work on a lot. But something with like a bunch of little huts. And some pathways, maybe do some kind of pathways extending out into the water would be cool. And just, you know, a nice little village around this volcano where we could have the mob farm. So that is something that I would like to work on. And I might have found a couple of suitable islands looking at the overviewer map. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to go check them out. But that is something that I want to get started on quickly, soon. I guess we could also put a volcano on the island, or even just a mob farm on the island. There is that mountain right behind our village that could work. It's kind of all by itself. I don't know. But anyways, so that's one idea. The other thing, of course, is the Skelly farm, which we're heading to right now. So here is the Skelly farm. Not a lot done yet, but I have some ideas for what I want to do. Hello, guy. I've kind of taken away a lot of the light that's supposed to be here. Alright, put that back. So, I was kind of thinking, you know, I want this farm to be ocean themed, and we have these skeletons that are spawning. And so my idea was to have some sort of shipwreck underground. And the skeletons are like the old crew. The pirate crew spawning up from the dead, up from Davy Jones' locker. And we're harvesting them, I guess. So that's kind of the basic idea. I've been trying to figure out how I want to do it, especially since we're underground. It doesn't quite make sense. We do have the ocean above us, but we're down at bedrock level. Bedrock is right there. So if we wanted to open this up to the ocean or do something with like a cave all the way up to the ocean, that would be a lot of digging. I don't know if it would look the best, but it's something that I could play around with and figure out. But really, it doesn't matter how the ship got here. Maybe it just magically teleported down into a cavern. But that's kind of the idea. So what I've been thinking is, you know, we have the spawner here. Obviously, we need this, and this needs to be like a cube around here. Everything that I built here is kind of just the basic structure. We'll have water over there pushing him down into here, which pushes him over to here, and then this is going to be the water elevator. So I've been trying to figure out how to incorporate that into a ship shape. We need to get this place all ship shape. So what I'm thinking is this is going to be, you know, the hull of the boat. This is going to be the storage, you know, the storage underneath. And this will probably be towards the back of the boat, I guess. The stern, right? I feel like that's right. Maybe? I don't know. Yeah, the bow is the front, right? Yes, I think it's the stern. So this will be like the stern of the ship. And then right here is going to be the mast. And that's, so this thing will be, it's broken up right now. I've ran out of dark oak, but this thing will be just a pillar of wood, basically. Or at least an X shape of wood. That will represent the mast, and inside that's where the water elevator will be to bring the skeletons up. And then we'll bring them over and we'll drop them down probably over here. And I guess we'll have like another mast, you know, like a foremast. Maybe. I've been struggling with that. You know, it'd have to be a pretty big ship to have two, you know, large masts. Large enough to, you know, house a hole in the middle for the skeletons to fall down. But maybe we can make it work. I'm definitely seeing this as being a much larger project than it needs to be, which is kind of turning out to be my theme on Castaways. That's what I've been doing with this series, building farms that, like I'm trying to make my farms sort of work into the world and work into the lore. So we have, you know, the Guardian farm where we have an island next door. that is inhabited with, you know, the lighthouse house. And then the actual farm is like a big, I guess, well, it's like a big farm, I guess, set up. That one's not quite built into it. It sort of is, but it'll have docks and maybe some ships where people will come and, you know, work on it, work at the farm, getting the resources. And then we have the slime farm, which is like a slime spring underground, like a magical cavern underground spawning these slimes. And then now we're working on this, and if we do the mob farm and the volcano, then we have a big volcano to make. A lot of work, but I think it makes these farms a lot more interesting and a lot cooler. It really combines what I like to do. You know, I love making farms. I love making things, you know, that will help us play and help us live and give us resources. But I also love to build, and I love to make these things look cool and just look epic and have an epic feel. So hopefully we can accomplish that. But anyways, I'm going to get to work on this. I need to go get some supplies and try and figure out how exactly we want to make this ship underground. Well, how do you like it? I think it's coming along pretty nicely. Did a live stream and did a lot of work on this thing. So this is how far we have it at this point. Still have quite a bit of work to do, but it's starting to take shape. You know, we have the ship walls going up on here and the floor, and here is the cargo hold where the spawner is, kind of suspended by a rope, which is an oak wood fence, and then we have these oak trapdoors on the bottom as well as the sides. So it's kind of like I don't know, maybe it's like a net or some sort of cage, I guess, for storing things, and that's where the skeletons are spawning. This is the back of the boat, and then yeah, that's what we have. And then these are the masts. So we have like the main mast, I guess, and then maybe this is the foremast. I don't know. It's a big ship, requires big sails, and so we have two large masts. I don't know much about ships to know if that's correct, but I think I've seen some ships with two, like usually there's one main one, but some of them have like still have a pretty big one towards the front. I don't know. Doesn't matter. This is what we're doing now. And these serve as the water elevator, so the skeletons get brought up over there. There's a little tunnel, and then they fall down here. I still need to adjust that to make sure that that works, and we gotta add item collection. I'll probably put the chests around here, and we'll put a bunch of like chests and boxes, you know, those things, crafting tables and note blocks around to make it look like crates stored up in here. Although I did have an idea. I would like to have like an actual deck on this ship that you could go up onto. And we'll have to carve out a lot of ground. It'd be a lot easier to just have it be the interior of the ship, but I think we need to have at least a little bit up on top, because right now it's kind of a room, and I could do some stuff to make it seem more like a ship, but at the moment it doesn't entirely feel like a ship. And these you can't really tell that they're masts unless you actually can go up there and see them sticking up above the ship. So I'd like to add a staircase up there, but that kind of got me thinking. We have this thing, and I've seen, you know, in ships, or at least in movies and stuff, in pictures, sometimes the ships will have, you know, like an opening to the deck where you can load down the crates, you know, drop down the crates into the storage, into the hull of the ship. And so I'd like to put some stuff up there. When I was thinking about that, though, it would almost make sense for this to be in the middle of the ship, between the two masts, because up above here you're gonna have like the cabin, you know, you're gonna have some living quarters up there, or at least the captain's quarters at the very least, depending on how big the ship is. So it almost doesn't make sense to be over here there. So I'm sort of wondering if I should move this whole thing back, instead of have the water elevator be here, put it behind. So then they'll go up, go across, and then fall down over here. If I do that, though, I think I'm going to have to redo basically all of this, because I think these walls are going to have to be wider so that you can actually have some room to walk around on the sides. And then, of course, we're going to have to push this backwards, so we'll have to redo that. It kind of stinks, but I think it would look a lot better. I'll have to decide if I want to do that or not. I've done some more streaming and some more work on the skeleton farm, and we'll go take a look at that in a sec. But I've been busy clearing out all of the wheat from my farm that Kamikaze put here, mainly because he keeps threatening me with his hoe. He always brings his hoe around here, and he sent me a picture of him here with his hoe. And if he's gonna come here, because he kept saying he wanted to come and fix all the spots that were broken. And so I figured if he wants to come here and fix the spots, we better at least make him, give him a lot of work to do. Maybe we'll push him off if we, you know, make a big area that he'd have to fix if he wanted to actually do this again. Ha ha ha. Anyways, so yeah, I'm clearing out some of this wheat. Finally, we'll get to see this area without all of this, this yellow stuff around. Although it does look beautiful in shaders, which, if you have been hanging out with my streams, we do usually use shaders there. I'm not doing it here because I want to get the 60 FPS, and I can't quite do that even at 720. There was another thing I wanted to mention up here, though. You may have seen there's some animals around. We got a chicken here. We have a cow there. There's some animals back behind the church, and I don't know where they're coming from. Kamikaze has noticed this as well. He's been having some like sheep and stuff seemingly spawning around his base. Yeah, back here we got a sheep, we got a cow, we got a sheep over there, another cow. These were not here before. So for some reason, in 1.10, we've been getting some passive mob spawns, which I know that passive mobs can spawn, but you really need to, like have no animals in the area, for them to spawn. And I have a farm over there with lots of animals, so I don't know what's going on. I'm honestly okay with it. Like if it's a new feature that they like upped the passive mob spawns, I'd be fine with that because it's kind of nice to see animals just popping up everywhere. The world doesn't seem so barren and desolate. You know, there's actually life in the world, which is kind of cool. But anyways, let's head down into the mine. We can take a look at what we've done to our skeleton farm so far. So we don't have a lot more done, although this thing is functional now, which is pretty cool. But I decided to change things up a bit. We decided to move the mass. I didn't like this one being next to the cage here, and so I moved that back a few blocks. And I didn't like that one being so close to the other mast. This is like the foremast. The front mast, the mast up in the front is what it is. And so I had a staircase going here, and then the mast was right here. Hello, skeleton. Where did you come from? There shouldn't be any spawning spaces around here. Can they spawn? Wait. Can they spawn in here? There's a trap door there. They shouldn't be able to spawn on this block. That's strange, unless they spawned over here and walked, but I don't think that they would do that. I don't know. Very interesting. Anyways, so switch those around, so now this one's a little bit farther ahead. I think it makes it look a bit more like a ship now, because that'll be the main mast, so that's sort of the middle of the ship, maybe a little bit towards the back. And then that's the front mast, and then the bow of the ship will be basically right here. And it looks pretty cool. We got the little cargo hold where the skeletons are spawning. And then they get brought up through a tunnel and then drop down here where you can kill them. Although I don't know why that took 2 hits to kill them. That was weird. I suppose the splash damage wasn't enough to kill all of them. I don't know. But I put in my switching thing, my crusher that I use in most of my farms, like skeleton farms or zombie farms. so that I can switch it between item mode and XP mode. So this is XP mode, they drop here. You can kill them for XP. And then this is item mode, they'll fall down and die. And there's a hopper down there. And you can also crush any mobs that aren't dying and murder them. But all those items get brought back behind this wall. And then they get sorted, and then they get sent out to these hoppers. So we should have bones going in there, arrows going in there, and then everything else goes in here, like the bows and armor and such. So it's working. We got it functional. There's still a lot to do here. A couple of the main things I want to do is I want to add enchanting here, of course, since it is a mob farm. It's always nice to have enchanting to be able to use your XP, as well as a bone meal farm for, you know, grown wheat. And I think the enchanting I'm gonna put in the cabin, like the pirates or the captain's cabin, which will be on the back of the ship. We can do something there. We could maybe put the bone meal farm in there. I'm not entirely sure where that will fit in the best. But besides like those two things, what's left is basically building the ship and making this look a lot cooler. Although I think I'm going to want some TNT because I want to blow up a decent sized cavern around this so that you can actually tell it is a ship. I do want to have some exterior areas. So in order to get TNT, we're going to need gunpowder. And we're going to need to work on a mob farm soon. I think we're going to do that fairly quickly, possibly even in the next live stream that I do, which might have already happened by the time this comes out. I don't know. Before we end the episode here, I wanted to kind of show you guys what my plans are for this mob farm. I talked about it a little bit earlier, I think. So my house, wrong way. My house is back that way. This is the swamp near my house. Cthulhu's over there. Cube and Rookabukis are over there. Spawn Island's like right there. And I think I am going to build the mob farm right out here. This is the right mountain, right? Is this it? Yeah, we're just in the wrong spot. Okay. Right there. So I want to make a volcano. There isn't a lot of good... Like, I'd really like a smaller mountain or a smaller island with like a big mountain. This is kind of the best we got around though. I've been doing some checking. So I think we'll make this work. So let's hop off over here and just kind of take a look. See what we got. The type of mob farm I'm going to do, I'm either going to do the one that I built with Tiger 1286. I helped him design that one on the Night Owl Season 2 server. And that was basically a bunch of like diamond-shaped platforms with a dispenser in the middle that shot out water and pushed the mobs off. And it was kind of nice because you just needed one water source per level. The other design I might do is the one that I built on my underground, which is just a pretty simple... got a bunch of platforms, water pushes the mobs along, and I use slime blocks, I think, kind of interestingly, in order to get the water to activate. So I think that's what the plan is, which means I'm gonna have to dig out the center of this mountain here. I'll probably have to do a lot of terraforming to this thing to make it look a little bit better, because I want it to look like a volcano, which means we'll probably get rid of all the dirt. Put some cobblestone around, maybe some coal blocks here and there, obsidian. Definitely a big long-term project, but if we could at least get the mob farm built, that would be fantastic. That's kind of what I'm doing right now, and I hate it. Like, I want to get these projects done, but they're so big, and as long as we get the functionality of these farms done, I guess that's the main thing, you know, because we've done that with the Guardian farm. Still have a lot of work to do out there to make it look awesome, but it at least works. We did it with the slime farm. That one's pretty close to being done. We just have basically the roof and a few other things to finish up. But for the most part, that one's done. We have the skeleton spawner, which The skeleton spawner is working, but we still have a lot of work until that one is actually done. And now this one. But I definitely want to get it working so we can get some gunpowder, so that we can, it'll make other projects easier. But anyways, that's going to be it for today. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I am going to be, I know I always say this, but I am going to be streaming more often. I've been streaming all week, basically, this week. As long as I don't get too busy with other things, like work or this home buying process, which I think for the most part, I'm done. I'm kind of at just a waiting stage at the moment, so that's good. But I know once I move in, I won't be able to do anything that week either. But for now, I'm definitely keeping up the streams, and we're having a lot of fun, getting a lot of work done. So make sure to follow me on Twitch and follow me on Twitter as well, because I'll announce when I'm streaming and doing stuff. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, peoples.